Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, January the 25th. We are starting off on stage 1, and pretty straightforward. Go along the right-hand side, blow up the defenses. If you need to, throw a shock on that cannon, and then take out the HQ from the opposite end of the boom cannon. Now, if you're really afraid of that rocket launcher, go up, blow up the rocket launcher from the right hand side, then come back down to where I originally had my tanks. You're going to be able to get the win, and the boom cannon won't get anywhere near you. Moving on to stage 2. Very nice and easy level this time. I landed off in the corner because I wanted to show, like, you can blow up those buildings, get a little bit of GBE, but eventually you're going to want to end up right there where my flare is, right in front of the shock launcher. Now, as you get to that point, the shock launcher is going to start shocking your troops, and it's going to slow things down. That's okay. Let it. Don't waste your GBE shocking the shock until you get right in its face and you're ready to open fire. That's when you can throw down your shock, and it'll help save you a little bit of GBE in the long run. If you're not too worried about the GBE, well, then land the other 7 boats that you have, and you know, the attack will go swimmingly. Because I just assume everybody attacks the lower level bases with one boat, because it's fun. Anyways, moving on to stage 3. Very nifty and easy stage 3. Obviously, where those critters just landed is where you want to drop your flare, because your tanks are going to follow this little happy trail of free loot all the way around until, oh look, they meet up. How fantastic. And then your tanks should naturally move down and start taking out the machine gun there, which is important because you want to take out the machine gun. And there is a cannon right next to the HQ. I'd suggest using all your newfound riches to blow that cannon up. Once the cannon's gone, you can flare up to around where my tanks are there. You're going to be completely safe. There is a rocket launcher that I took out with critters. If you really want, you could use, I don't know, barrage and artillery, but, you know, critters is more fun because, well, they can't do anything against the critters. David versus Goliath sort of scenario. You know how it is. Alright. Stage 4. Possibly the easiest stage 4 that I've seen in I don't even know how long. A crazy long amount of time. Especially if you're rolling Grens, because as you can see, like, my medics have yet to throw a single heal because nothing can shoot my Grens. I don't know. It's been pretty intense. But, oh yeah, the dog moved. Alright, good stuff. So, hey, I can move my chair. This makes me very excited. Go over to the left-hand side and just follow the edge of the map up, and then once you're in kind of that final positioning, it'll take out all the sniper towers and all the stuff around the HQ, and then you can drop all your tanks, because obviously, again, everybody attacks bases with partial boats, right? Yeah. Let's move on to stage 5. I don't know. Also, just as a side note, because stage 5 is also surprisingly easy, you'll be able to see how I kind of clear up a path down at the 6 o'clock with the Grens, and then bring everything in for a nice big finale. But yes, it is official. The Mega Crab has landed. The crab is coming. And it's coming in like 2.5 days. I don't know what time it is. I'd have to go look at the clock and stuff. But it's, you know, around 2 days-ish. It's Friday when the crab will actually be visible and attackable. So, for all the people who have been asking and waiting and anxiously and eagerly holding out for some kind of news, the crab is here. It's official. I can say it. It's fun. The crab, the crab, the crab, the crab. I've got crabs. And you're invited. Anyways, Yes, so this Friday, because the crab will be showing up on my map and, um, it's the crab, I figure what better way to celebrate the 1 year birthday of the Mega Crab than to do a live stream and just kind of blast through as much of the crab as I possibly can. Probably like the first 20 levels, 25 levels, give or take, hopefully, I don't know. From the sounds of it, there's some kind of crazy taunt tower, so gonna have to figure out what that taunt tower is like. I don't know, it might do scary things, it might really throw some wrenches into the gears. We won't know, unfortunately, until Friday, but I will definitely be bringing you as much of the crab as I can right away, because, well, that's the kind of crazy that I am. What? The stamp says saint. Anyways, so yeah, with stage 5, I have no idea what happened, but hopefully you saw it and it made sense. Stage 6 is kind of nasty because there's a bunch of boom cannons around, so it's kind of like a GBE test. You're gonna have to blow a certain number of things up. Now the good news is you can build up a bunch of GBE down on that initial landing when you're building it, kind of filling out your beachhead, I guess, or destroying out room for your beachhead. I don't know. Anyways, you can use all of that, get your troops in behind the HQ, and you're going to get yourself a nice easy win on stage 6. Oh yes, there it is. Sorry, I was like, wait for it. Yes, it blew up. Crazy drunken grenadiers can't hit the broadside of a barn. Okay, on to stage 7. And stage 7 actually is, again, especially if you're rolling with the Grenks, it is surprisingly easy. First of all, life is a little bit easier when you're barraging and artillerying things down, and you're only dropping 3 boats of tanks because it's half the energy you would normally have to blow in order to get everything down. Which is nice, but also look at all those boom mines. Like, if you didn't have Grens, you would have to do something about all of those crazy mines. And considering there are 2 boom cannons and 4 shock launchers, all in the immediate vicinity of the HQ, man, those artilleries and barrages are going to start getting expensive, and so are the critters. So having the Grens, once again, saving my tocas. So let them farm up your beachhead, kind of like previous stages. And once they finally take out everything on the edge here, drop your tanks and then flare them over down into the bottom left-hand corner, because that bottom left-hand corner just happens to be where we want them. I did use a couple of smokes, and don't get me wrong, incredibly poorly placed smokes, but I used said smokes nonetheless to make sure I got all of my troops over into the right area without anything crazy happening, because there are 3 cannons and a sniper tower that all have range, aside from shock launchers and rocket launchers and, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. So make sure, once you smoke everything in there, your troops are all going to get arranged, and then just before the smoke goes, start throwing the shocks. And those shocks will allow you to clear out that tight little cluster without any real significant losses, because even though you've got a shock launcher that's whacking your troops and really kind of slowing you down, the grenadiers get just enough time to all throw a full volley of grenades, and it does amazing things to that tight little knot of defenses. Okay, so After you've kind of cleared that far, go around to the opposite side from the shock launchers. I ended up realizing, oh shoot, I have a buttload of GBE. Why don't I just burn some of it, blowing up some shock launchers? Because if those 2 shock launchers hit you at the right timing, they can pretty much perma-stun lock your troops, which is, let's face it, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, literally, ain't nobody got time for that, because you would run out of time in your attack and lose the attack if that happened. Anyways, all in all, that's a nice easy way to take down Dr. T for today. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day getting ready for the crab.